1. Complexity doesn't scale. Simplicity wins. Periods. Overcomplicated systems, products, or strategies slow everything down: execution, decision making, and ultimately growth. The fastest growing companies I've seen prioritize focus and efficiency. Think of it like this: every feature, process, or strategy should have a clear why. If it doesn't, it's probably weighing you down. Founders often feel pressure to add features or diversify early, but the most successful ones stick to their core. A founder once told me, if you can't explain it to a customer in a sentence, it's too complex. 2. The market dictates the outcome. Even the best teams cannot win in a bad market. Founders succeeding in large, inefficient markets know how to identify gaps, adapt quickly, and iterate relentlessly. I've invested and interviewed founders that had brilliant products but struggled in the markets that were not ready. Others found massive success by focusing on overlooked niches within big markets. The lesson here is know your market like the back of your hand. Number 3, investors are partners, not just funders. The best founders don't just pick investors with the biggest checkbooks, they choose those who bring strategic value, operational expertise, and alignment with their vision. The right investors act as mentors, connectors, and long term partners who help navigate the ups and downs of scaling a company. I've heard countless stories of founders who regretted taking easy money from investors who didn't truly understand their business. Actually, research from PitchBook shows that startups backed by hands-on, value-add investors are 40% more likely to achieve successful exits compared to those backed by passive investors. Moreover, studies show that founder-investor alignment on strategy and values can increase startups' survival rate by 30%, which is a lot given how risky tech industry is. 4. Validate before you build. The most successful founders test demand before building a polished product. Landing pages, early prototypes, or even customer interviews can save months of wasted efforts. Someone told me during an interview that their life-saving pivots came from discovering through customer conversations that their initial product wasn't solving the core pain points. Dropbox famously used an explainer video to validate demand before writing a single line of code, resulting in a waitlist of 75,000 users. 5. Media is a growth engine. Media, storytelling, and strategic use of digital channels are among the most powerful and cost-effective tools in the founder's arsenal. A strong narrative, shared through the right platforms, can create buzz, build trust, and drive organic growth, often saving significant money on customer acquisition. A compelling narrative not only attracts attention, but also inspires loyalty, making customers more likely to stick around and share your stories with others. Users acquired through storytelling and organic media tend to have higher lifetime value and stickiness than those acquired via performance marketing. 6. Saying no to distractions. Opportunities are everywhere, but not all of them align with your vision. Founders who succeed are ruthless about saying no to anything that doesn't drive their core mission. Every new initiative takes resources, time, money, energy. Spreading those thin across too many priorities often results in mediocre execution. The opportunity cost of yes is very high. Founders need to understand that every distraction, no matter how promising, pulls focus away from the core mission. A founder once told me that the hardest part of growing a company isn't deciding what to do, it is deciding what not to do. And that stuck with me because it is so true. The ability to say no is one of the most underrated skills in entrepreneurship. You can use a simple framework actually to evaluate opportunities. Ask yourself, does it align with our mission? Does it serve our customers? And can we execute it without compromising existing priorities? If the answer to any of those is no, then it's likely a distraction. 7. Fundraising is a process, not an event. Fundraising isn't just about pitching and closing, it's an ongoing process of building relationships, creating trust, and showcasing progress over time. The best founders treat fundraising as a marathon, not a sprint, starting early and keeping investors engaged long before they need the capital. Investors are far more likely to back founders they know and trust. Building relationships well in advance gives you a chance to demonstrate traction, share your vision, and align on goals. A recent Crunchbase report found that 78% of successful seed rounds involve investors who had prior interaction with the founder. Regular updates to potential investors, like quarterly emails, product updates, or progress milestones, can create momentum and maintain interest, and founders who keep lines of communication open find it easier to secure follow-on rounds because investors already feel invested in the journey. Starting conversations early also allows founders to identify the right investors, those who align with their vision and can add strategic value. Waiting until the last minute often leads to rushed decisions, suboptimal terms, and less than ideal partnerships. Each stage of fundraising requires a tailored approach. On the pre seed to seed, focus on storytelling and the strength of your team. Investors at this stage are betting on vision and potential. Series A, prove a product market fit and show early traction. And on the growth rounds, demonstrate scalability and highlight financial metrics like CAC, LTV, and ARR. 8. Embrace the learning curve. The early stages of your career and entrepreneurial journey are the most valuable for personal growth. So prioritize opportunities that challenge you, force you out of your comfort zone, and accelerate your learning. Skills developed during those formative years compound over time, making you more prepared for larger challenges ahead. Taking roles or pursuing projects with steep learning curves often comes at the cost of short term rewards. However, this trade off is worth it. Founders who prioritize learning early build a foundation of resilience, adaptability, and problem solving skills that become their greatest assets. So, when evaluating opportunities, ask yourself, does this role or project challenge me to develop new skills? Will the lessons I learn here compound over time? Am I pushing myself out of my comfort zone in a meaningful way? Early in your career, it's better to optimize for growth than comfort. The experiences and skills you gain during this time will create a compounding effect, paying dividends when you face bigger, more complex challenges later. 9. Master the art of the pivot. Pivoting isn't a sign of failure, it's a response to learning. It's a natural and necessary part of building a successful business. The most successful founders are those who listen to their customers, analyze market feedback, and aren't afraid to shift their strategy when things aren't working. Pivoting is about adaptation and evolution, transforming initial ideas into something even better aligned with the market needs. So many startups fail because they run out of cash before finding product market fit, often because they're too slow or resistant to pivot. Startups that pivot early and strategically are 3 times more likely to secure follow on funding. By the way, pivots don't always mean a complete overhaul. Sometimes they're small but significant shifts in positioning, pricing, or target market. One founder I interviewed said, pivoting felt like admitting I was wrong, but it turned out to be the best decision we ever made. It wasn't about starting over, it was about getting closer to what our customers actually wanted. And finally, 10, play the long game in regulated markets. Building a startup in a regulated industry like fintech, healthcare, or energy requires patience, resiliency, and a deep understanding of the regulatory environment. Success doesn't happen overnight in those spaces because policy changes are slow and often follow a broader societal or technological shifts. Founders who thrive in regulated markets understand how to adapt, build trust, and persist through uncertainty. Regulated markets equal big opportunities. Regulation often acts as a barrier, deterring less determined competitors and leaving significant market share for those willing to navigate the complexities. Look at Brazil's financial sector. The introduction of PIX, an instant payment system developed by the central bank, created massive opportunities for fintech startups. Founders who adapted early to this regulatory shift capitalized on the surge in digital payments, reshaping the country's financial landscape. Founders in regulated markets must prioritize trust with regulators, partners, and customers. This often involves working closely with policymakers, ensuring compliance, and educating stakeholders about the benefits of their innovation. Regulated markets may not offer quick wins, but they reward founders who are strategic, patient, and committed to building trust. Playing the long game here is a necessity. That's it for today.